Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. From here on out, I'll be making tutorials about photography, Photoshop, and much more. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when I've made new content. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Today, I'm going to show you how to set up Photoshop to make a tri-fold brochure. I'll also show you a little bit of editing I'm doing along the way as I'm completing this for a class project. So let's get going. First things first, we're going to go to File, New, and we're going to create a new document. So a standard sheet of paper is 11 by 8.5, so you want to make sure your width is 11 and your height is set at 8.5. I'm also going to be working in a 300 resolution RGB color space. So let's get started. All right, let's zoom out a little bit so we can see what we're doing. And the first thing I'm going to do is check and make sure that I have my rulers turned on, which is under View, and hit Rulers, make sure there's a check, or you can hit Command R for a shortcut. On the side, let me switch. On the side, you're going to see your rulers. Let's convert this to normal space. Actually, we're going to add a layer over top of this. Put that back so that we have a fresh new layer to start on. And then we're going to come over to our ruler, and you're going to see you're able to drag these little lines across. This is going to set up your boundaries for your trifold. And I'm not looking at this exactly, so we're kind of going to estimate just for the purpose of tutorials. But if you want to do the math and break down 11 divided by 3, you'll have the perfect number. So now we've got that divided. What I'm doing now is bringing down a few more lines. This is going to be our bleed area. So the bleed area is for whenever you print, you want to make sure you have a little bit of space in case some of your text or your color decides to run over. You don't want it to get cut off, and this is going to keep that from happening. So pulling this one down to the bottom here, and if you can tell, I'm doing them like 0.2 below the number. So 0 is going to be down from 0 is going to be 0.2, from the top 0.2, and so on. And you just want to make sure they're even. Now we're going to add a new layer. And I'm going to start making the brochure. I've got a photo saved that has the color that I want my background for, as I'm doing a Hot Topic brochure for my copyright class. So I'm just going to grab that photo, and then I'm going to get my paint sample over here. Make sure it's in place. I'm going to grab my paint sample right here. I'm going to check the color, hit OK. Get rid of the image because I actually don't need it. I'm not going to use it. I just wanted a color sample. Select my paint bucket, the layer I'm on, and click. So now that I've done that, that's a little off looking. Perfect. So now that I've done that, I'm actually going to start adding a few more graphics. So let's get a new layer we can work on. Hit place LinkedIn. And I've got this Hot Topic banner PNG that I actually found online that is perfect. And I want that for my front cover. I'm going to convert it to a smart object because I am going to be changing the size and I don't want it to pixelate. So whenever I make it bigger or smaller, it's not going to warp or pixelate my image, which is perfect. Again, I'm going to put this on my front cover and I want it to look like it's been stamped on there. So I'm going to put it, you know what? Let's put it in an angle. I actually think that'll end up looking better. So let's move that around a bit. And then I'm going to show you how to go in and make it look like it's been stamped on. It'll also give it some dimension. So we're going to go to this. We're going to right click and hit blending options. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom where it says drop shadow. And you can see right there immediately you've got a shadow underneath. And you can change the angle of that shadow. And you can see it's moving around there. So depending on where you want it to look like it was stamped, that's your options right there. You can also change your opacity and your distance. So this will make your shadow darker or lighter. And I actually think I like it right there. So we're going to leave that there. The next thing I'm going to do is select is make a new layer. And let's go ahead and rename these while we're here. So this one's going to be my front layer so that I know where everything is. This will be my front panel. And then the second one we're going to do is our middle panel, so we know it's in the middle on the back. And I'm going to add a little box right here because this is going to be our address filler. So on a normal brochure, you would have an address or contact information, and that's where we're going to put this. I'm going to switch over to white, get my paint bucket, and fill that in. But I don't want it to be super, super white, so I'm going to go over here and take down the opacity a little bit. And then we want to deselect that. Perfect. Now, I want to add something else to the back. I'm not really sure, but I'm just going to show you this for editing purposes. I have a screenshot of, where is it? There you are, of the Hot Topic guest list and what it offers. But I don't want that white background, so I'm very quickly going to breeze through. First, making it a smart object. That way I can change the size without it pixelating. And then we're going to go into editing. So I'm going to hit my selection tool really fast and make a quick selection and go into select and mask and just go through and get rid of all the white in the background. If you would like a tutorial on how to do select and mask, please leave me a comment and let me know. I definitely want to make more tutorials, and I just need to know what you guys want to know. So yeah, just let me know in the comments. Okay, it still needs a little work, so let's go back in and touch it up just a smidget. Make that look a little bit better. Okay, cool. Good enough for this. So hit OK. And we're going to resize that back into place and make it a smart object first, again, so that you don't lose any pixelation there. Zoom out so you can see. And this is obviously not going to be my final product, but I just kind of wanted to show you guys how to get that started and what all I've been doing here for it. Now you're probably wondering, what about the other side? You actually have to make a separate one for that. So the first thing I'm going to do is save this one. So File, Save As. And I'm going to label this as side 1 and working so that I know that I'm not completed with it. And then you're going to go up to File, New. And your old settings that we just used for this one should automatically be saved. If not, remember its width and height is 11 and 8.5, working at 300 pixels and RGB space. And you're just going to go through and do that exact same thing again and put your bleed lines and set up your spacing. So I'm going to run through that really fast, just in case you weren't sure on the first one. So let's set those lines in there, 1 and 2. Got all 3 spaces. Make sure we put our bleed lines back in. And this one is actually going to be the inside. So this is where you open up and you see everything on the inside, all 3 panels at one time, unlike the back side where you're more likely just to see that folded. So this is where all your good information about your product or your event or whatever you're going to do is going to be going. Okay. Then we're going to save this one. And we're going to do this as the inside working. So we know which one is which. And that's basically it. From here on out, you're just going to be putting your little graphics. So thank you guys for watching my first tutorial. I hope you got something out of this. If there's something else you want to see, anything with Photoshop, anything with photography, especially for basics beginners, please leave a comment. And don't forget to click subscribe and hit the notification bell so that I can do more of these for you. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching.